So this is Morning Perfect Base. I'm doing something a little different today. I'm going to be working on the core of my base. As you know, I have the perfect base design that I use. In the middle of that design, it's got 4 wings, 3 layers per wing, courtyard between the wings, and at the center of everything, there is a core. It has a central staircase, has beds on it. It's the baseiest part of the base. So I'm going to work on kind of leveling out the core on this, like my local world, on what I call the Bojack world. And let's get rid of that this banner here. I don't know if I want to keep those banners. Those banners are stolen from roving patrols of illagers, and I've just dyed them and used colorings that I had to hand to try to make like a new color scheme unique for this place. I don't know. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to work on having walkways out here. I've slept here since the first night, and you know, I still don't have a way over to get over the roof of this wing here. I believe that's the north wing. Might be the south wing. I'll never saw it. But 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. That's 8. It's 8 levels, which you want from ground. So we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 4. Oh, I don't think that's right. That's like 9. Oh yeah, I fucked up. So let me just, damn it, okay. Let me just count around. Let me just work around. So what I'm gonna do is I talk about this all the time. There's just so much news happening. And I like to be abreast of it. 3, 4. So I can't keep track of it all. I flag so many things. I'm like, oh, I want to read that later, but I don't read it later. I don't have time for that, and I end up just accumulating more stuff instead of going back to read and inventory the stuff and kind of getting a grasp on it. In this series, Morning Perfect Base has historically been here for me to process that news. I did fuck up. So I'm going to make an actual goddamn diamond axe. I don't use diamond tools a lot. I don't like it. So I'm going to go in there. I'm going to use an actual diamond axe because I'm going to have to cut up a lot of floors. No. No. I'm going to have to cut up a lot of wooden floors and relay them 1 block lower because I fucked all of this up so much. And let's get the... get the diamond axe and cut that up and make that a little efficient now. Good. Slightly more efficient now. Fantastic. Okay. I'm sure I'll have plenty of opportunities to use both the enchanted diamond and the enchanted stone axe I just made. So yes, let's look at, I'm going to do picture in picture here. Let's look at news from the past month. From the beginning of January. Let's do that. My internet's a little shitty right now, so we're going to deal with that. So I'm using a local game. I'm going to try to do more work on the Realm and maybe the Banana Viking server. Maybe as this goes on, I can just let people vote or whatever. You guys can decide what world you want to watch me work on. The one thing I've been using, I'm going to try to do more frequently from this point forward. I'm kinda, yep, 1 level too high. 1 level too high. There's a walkway into the storage facility. So, I'll let you guys vote on like which world. I guess 2 of them I'm building a perfect base. 1 of them I'm just building a pretty cool base. But I think is nice, the Banana Viking one. But maybe as this train gets rolling, I'll put that up for a vote and people can voice which one they'd rather see me break blocks on. if that makes a difference to you. So yeah, let's go back. Let's go back to no, God, no. Earlier, January 1st, guys. January 1st. Not even a whole month. Jesus. Okay, Jim Baru, the internet can belong to you again. Not all of you will get to read this post. This site has a paywall. That means you'll only be able to read it for free if you haven't used up. Okay, I don't. All right, I think that is about the internet structure changing into a pay model. Let's see, from logistics to food. This is January 1st. Polygon's 50 most anticipated games of 2021. We're already 12% of the way through. I'd like to know what games are coming up. I like video games. I don't buy new video games. I buy old video games, or I play that game. What's it called? What's that game called? Can't remember. What is it? Oh yeah, it's Minecraft. So, like, I don't buy new video games. I just play a few games that are really good, that are highly replayable. But I like knowing what's coming. Let's just cut it off, though. Cut it out. So, what is it like to release a book during quarantine? I have friends who are trying to publish. I'm not trying to publish, but I have friends who do, and I might want to read that, and it might be useful to them. Human Capital, the biggest labor stories of 2020. I'm interested in the labor stories of 2020. I'm like big into labor, but like it's good. People should be paid for what they do. And it is obvious that regular old wage workers have to, shut that. Okay. Have to work together as groups to get a fair shake from companies. I heard that we might possibly be passing a law. It's going to raise minimum wage from $7 to $15 by like 2024 or something. It's ridiculous. They've been fighting for a $15 minimum wage for like a very long time. And the cost of living has gone up since then, and it will go up continuously in the future. Anyway, I'm interested in labor. This thing I want to be aware of. Accidental conspiracists. This is about people who fell down the rabbit hole. Interesting psychology. Alphabet, yeah, the people who work for Google, they formed a union, right? So I'm interested in that as part of the union thing. Maybe I can just wait until 2022, and then I can read about it in the biggest labor stories of 2021. I can only go back so much. Things. Giant black hole keeps evading detecting. What is it not? What is the black hole not detecting? It's so slick. It's keeping itself from being aware of something. Scientists can't explain it. It's Slashdot, which is sort of like a broad net of news to pull in. It's usually not very good. More Alphabet Workers Union. Amazon's Haven Healthcare. I think I did actually report on this when this was initially put forward, years ago, where a bunch of wealthy bastards, I don't know if this is the same thing, I assume it's the same thing, are like, we're going to fix healthcare with all of our money because free market, and that's disbanding. Twitter acquires social podcasting app Breaker. I'm a podcaster. I should be interested in developments in tech on Breaker. I'm obviously on Twitter. I'm interested in Twitter. It's interesting. I have a whole video about fleets that I torpedoed. Morning Perfect Base, I believe number 68, I think. Wrote, recorded, filmed, scuttled. It's just going to stay in the vault forever. Ukraine government picks Stellar to help build national digital currency. I'm interested in a country which might have its own digital currency. How is that different from a regular currency? I still don't get how Bitcoins can be done in the way that they're done. I don't get it. I can tell you the buzzwords. I don't know what that means though. Let's see. U.S. intelligence services had an agent inside the highest levels of the Kremlin until we had to extract him because Donald Trump's administration mishandled classified intelligence. And it should make your blood boil. It probably should. I mean, we're going to spend the rest of our life dealing with people who say the Trump administration wasn't that bad, and we're like, no, it was worse, because they're going to look at the scale of it, and they're going to be like, no one could be that bad. But yes, it could be that bad. I think our country is plagued by people who have the idea that you just essentially do things, and it can't really go wrong. And things can go very wrong. Slashdot, Whole Foods CEO John Mackey, the best solutions to not need healthcare for Americans to change how they eat and live. These people have no friggin' idea. They think that bad things just don't happen. Like, it can't go wrong. There we go. Dan Wilson, he was the lead singer and I think primary songwriter for Semisonic. He is a professional songwriter. his album Recovered is actually pretty good. It's him doing covers of songs that he helped co-write. Very famous songs done by people who are more famous than Dan Wilson. He did an interview. I'd like to watch it. Yes, games are borrowing elements of visual novels, and they're better for it. It's an interesting premise. I like Minecraft. I don't need a lot of the visuals to be fancy. I think Minecraft is a fine game with very limited visuals. I don't need in-depth designs. I don't need like prettier looking things in Minecraft. I'm not a fan of that. I need more blocks, better blocks, more logical construction, a larger variety of builds with just blocks. We just do blocks, man. Maybe things like chairs. I wouldn't kill for chairs. I don't like stalagmites and stalactites. They're going to be introducing stalactites and stalagmites in the next big update. As blocks that are blocks, yes, but they don't fill a block. They're just cones. They make pits more deadly. I don't know. I think you can make a block that makes pits more deadly, but whatever. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. The ways that visual novels are have tools that other games can use to focus more on gameplay or focus more on story to the exact amount they need to and no more. Seaman's story on the white lady who discovered that King has whales. She asked a fisherman at the bar if he'd seen any humpback whales, and he says, "Sure, we've seen them for 30 years." Go figure. Now we're on the 6th. Yeah, and this week just highlights the disparity between people who marched, who broke into the Capitol on January 6th, 2021, and all of the previous protests that we'd seen in 2020, which were met with overwhelming police presence. And you're like, why the difference? Yeah, that's in 2021. That's just a funny thing. Oh, this text. Let's see. I think this is all going to be about the January 6th. So, let's see. It's a good one. It's the hot dog guy. We're all trying to figure out who did this. It's a decent sketch. You should check out the sketch. It's kind of fun. If the Senate confirmed Amy Coney Barrett before Justice Ginsburg was cold in her grave, can't they impeach real Donald Trump and remove him from office before his Twitter account is unblocked? I think, well, they might do that. I mean, they're probably not going to remove him, but why couldn't they have done that? They just don't care. Police were arresting journalists January 6th. Well, let's see. It just keeps going. These people had no sense of urgency. They just broke into the building and they didn't do anything. All right. This is not America. They're shooting at us. They're supposed to shoot BLM, but they're shooting at us patriots. Again, like, you want to look at this time and just give a comprehensive view of it. And it may never be possible because more shit is going to happen in this time. It's as true as it was as the day it was first sung. The years start coming and they do not stop coming. There's a torch in that. That's why that won't work. Okay. We are now further from the end of 8-bit theater than the end of 8-bit theater was from its beginning. Okay, that's actually... Wow. Okay, that's actually pretty heavy. So... politics. New model estimates that by 2100, cities across the world could warm by as much as 4.4 degrees Celsius. Figure that more than doubles the Paris Agreement's hard goal, keeping average global temperature rise. Ah, God. Is that the Paris goal, really? 2 degrees? That is frightening. So, I like talking about climate change. I mean, I don't like talking about it, but, it's a topic. It might have been, oh yeah. So, yeah, people are saying the folks who broke into the Capitol were actually Antifa. Yeah, whatever, dude, die. This kid is serving 8 years in prison for alleged vandalism during the fire. I want to read more about this. I want to know the story. I mean, it's a heck of a difference, right? It's crazy, but that's how people see it. It's like, oh, they wanted to save America, therefore, you can understand if they just got carried away a little bit and beheaded a Supreme Court justice. Meanwhile, they're like, oh yeah, these people are trying to change America. Fuck that. Fuck them. I think it lays bare a lot of values that Americans have. They would rather let people die than change how they live. But if they feel people are ultimately fighting for the status quo that they are familiar with, then, they had good intentions. What does it matter what harm they did? Crazy shit. Crazy time to be alive. It's a funny one. Due to COVID travel restrictions, the U.S. had to set up a coup locally this year. That's just funny. That's just funny stuff. Yeah, and a lot of this is just the fallout. This is Rush Limbaugh. He's celebrating violence. He said, "I'm glad the founding fathers didn't oppose violence to achieve their ends." I mean, the dude's on board with it. More Schadenfreude. Tweet went away. That's not so great. This guy got arrested since then. That's Coca-Cola. It's great. Coca-Cola condemns what happened in Washington, D.C. And this guy's like, the Coca-Cola company is proud to declare the United States its first death squad free zone. If you didn't know, Coca-Cola in years past hired death squads to kill labor leaders. I don't know a lot about that. This is just secondhand. It's hearsay. Investigate it yourself. But now I'm giving you stuff to do. I would love to investigate the Coca-Cola death. I have wanted to look into that for years and learn more about it. More than a Wikipedia article. And then years later, I'd like to come back and still know a goddamn thing about it. You know what I mean? I just want to ramble about it on a video for 20 minutes. And then years later, I'm like, oh, the guy did the stuff and it was Bird. Okie dokie. Let's look at this. The complaint filed Friday by Dominion Voting Systems seeks $1.3 billion from Powell, who filed numerous unsuccessful court cases seeking to overturn the election results. Dominion's the voting poll company. They're suing this lady who said that they cheated. It's great. And it's fucking what should happen. Ad funded open web. You'll never believe what this. Advertising funds the open web. But it is phrase you'll never believe. Look, I'm just going to use the key. I'm not going to go to this article. I'm just going to use the keywords in it to look for like a reputable article to see if it's actually relevant. That's a guy saying a thing. It's a great message from Arnold. I think I reblogged about it. Just like I did for blog it. Let's move that from my bookmarks. I don't need it. QAnon. We have to talk about QAnon, and we can talk about QAnon better. Look, you can own as many people as you want on Twitter. It's obviously on Twitter or Facebook, and it's not changing what they're doing. Like, the engagement policy of cutting people off and sometimes arguing with them on the internet is not an effective way to deal with these guys. They're getting stronger. And like, yes, occasionally they will do something that will make institutions here, whether that's Coca-Cola or just people, go, hey, stop that. Those people are not going to wrestle those dudes to the mat, and they are not going to get rid of them. And the way we've been working with, like, mind-controlled family members and everything else, I think we get to score a lot of petty, self-satisfied victories, and we get to eliminate the problems they cause from our personal lives, but they are still out there. And obviously, they are still dangerous to the country itself. In large groups, they can make a big difference. And, like, we are just not engaging with that collectively or effectively. That's an algorithm. That's racism in algorithms. That's one of my interests in bailiwicks. The conservatism of Doctor Who, an article in The Escapist. I'm interested. Built empathy into a robot. I'm interested in AI. How to get more plant. I would like just to eat plant-based meats. Now, don't get me wrong. The other day I got maybe drank slightly too much and ate all 4 veggie hamburger patties in my freezer, and my stomach felt real bad the next day. But I generally am interested in veggie meats and lab-grown meats and stuff like that. Yeah, Susan Collins thought it was the Iranians. Was she watching fucking Back to the Future? Okay. Yeah, it is so weird. This person says Trump is the most masculine person to ever hold the White House as president of the United States. 1, Teddy Roosevelt. 2, Teddy fucking Roosevelt. 3, Donald fucking Trump. What the fuck? He is a nobody fucking cosmetology dummy who means nothing, and who is not tough, and who is not strong, who just speaks very loudly. He is an expert on the symbols which people have come to identify as trustworthy and strong, and like there's merit in that, but like there's no actual virtue. That's why they call him a con man, because he convinces people he's something. Okay, all right, scrolling up. Netflix announces, oh, it's all the movies come out to Netflix. It's very much like the thing with the video games. I want to know what are coming out. All right, see, look, and I'm barely up to the 12, but I gotta go. I'm running short on time. So look, I don't know. If you guys have suggestions, if you guys have ideas, if there are things you want to see me talk about, go ahead. Let me know. But until next time, keep asking questions, keep learning, and keep making good art.